Why does this one liquid power cars, dissolve perfumes, and even exist among the stars? The answer hides in a tiny, overlooked group of atoms.
All alcohols share this secret weapon, the hydroxyl group, OH. But how does this tiny cluster of two atoms create such diverse magic in our world? But nature has its own ancient recipe, yeast feasting on sugar, breathing out ethanol. How can we harness this age-old magic for a cleaner world? Why are alcohols liquid at room temperature while similar-sized alkanes are gases? Look at these invisible threads, hydrogen bonds, the glue that changes everything. In the cosmic court of acids, water is a stronger acid than ethanol. And the more alkyl bodyguards an alcohol has, the weaker its acidic power. But why?
Think of the alkyl group as a gentle elephant, puffing extra electron fluff toward oxygen. That makes the proton child cling tighter, so ethanol is a weaker acid.
One carbon neighbor, 2 or 3, that's the difference between primary, secondary, and tertiary alcohols, a classification that seals their chemical destiny. This is a primary alcohol, nature's own creation, and the beginning of a long chemical journey. What if we could change it, step by step, into something entirely new? A secondary alcohol's OH carbon is a pivot between two carbon gears. How does this balanced, mechanical arrangement change its fate when attacked by an oxidizer? A tertiary alcohol's OH carbon is a diamond fortress surrounded by 3 carbon towers. What if you try to oxidize it? Absolutely nothing. It's unbreakable. When the orange dichromate beam hits, primary and secondary transform, turning green, but tertiary, unscathed. This color race reveals the alcohol's true identity. Why does orange turn to green? Because chromium steals electrons from the alcohol, transforming from CrVi to Cr3. A beautiful molecular heist. Watch the magic. Primary and secondary turn green, proof of oxidation. Tertiary stays orange. This simple test is a chemist's secret handshake. Think of oxidation as a mountain. Primary can reach the summit, carboxylic acid. Secondary stops halfway, ketone. Tertiary never leaves base camp. Distill off the aldehyde as it forms, and you stop there. Reflux with excess oxidizer, and you push all the way to the acid. Conditions are everything. Rip water out of an alcohol, and you conjure an alkene. This ancient alchemy, dehydration, is catalyzed by fire or acid, forging a double bond. Or, in a massive reactor, ethene and steam meet a phosphoric acid chaperone to form ethanol. A continuous, but fossil fuel-dependent, dance. Both paths lead to ethanol, but one depends on dwindling oil, the other on regrowing cane. Yet, is bioethanol truly carbon neutral? Not quite, yet.
What if we could bypass yeast and oil entirely, using artificial leaves to turn sunlight and air into ethanol? Scientists are already chasing this dream.
Burn an alcohol, and you unleash ancient sunlight stored by plants. Clean, blue, and powerful. But what if we want more than just heat and light? Swap the OH for a halogen, a brutal yet elegant substitution. Hydrogen bromide turns ethanol into a heavy, oily liquid. How does the OH leave so easily? Sodium metal tears the OH proton right off, fizzing hydrogen gas. The pink color reveals the birth of a strong base, sodium ethoxide. An alcohol and a carboxylic acid with an acid catalyst marry to form an ester and water. It's a fragrant molecular wedding called esterification. Acid hydrolysis of an ester is a reversible dance. But base hydrolysis runs to the last drop. The carboxylic acid is immediately trapped as a salt. Base hydrolysis doesn't stop at the acid, it takes it one step further to a salt. To get the pure acid back, you just add a stronger acid. Reflux a primary alcohol with excess dichromate, and you drive the oxidation all the way to the carboxylic acid. The aldehyde is just a fleeting halfway house. A nitrile C-Grephen group boiled with dilute acid unravels step by step into a carboxylic acid, releasing ammonia, a hidden path to the COOH fortress. Carboxylic acids react just like any acid. With metals they make hydrogen, with alkalis they make salts, and with carbonates they fizz CO2. Gentle, yet reactive. Only the mighty LiAlH₄ can bulldoze a carboxylic acid into a primary alcohol, but it demands absolute dryness and an inert atmosphere, or it erupts. Sodium ethanoate crystals aren't just lab curiosities. They're the secret behind reusable hand warmers, releasing stored heat as they crystallize. From a single alcohol, 6 pathways radiate: combustion, substitution, sodium, esterification, dehydration, oxidation, all from that one OH group. Even a single dewdrop of ethanol on a rose petal holds a universe of molecular interactions, ester scents, hydrogen bonds, and the promise of a new day. From this one group, OH, a world of reactions unfolds. You've seen them all. Now you hold the keys to the kingdom of alcohols, esters, and acids.
So, who's the strongest acid? Water, because its conjugate base, hydroxide, is more alkyl grease, something like that weaker.
Tertiary alcohols react fastest with halide acids because they form the most stable carbon cation. Another clue to tell them apart: in this market, all the fruity scents are esters, made by marrying an acid and an alkyl smells. Why do esters smell like fruits? Their shape fits our scent receptors like a key in a lock, a sweet coincidence of molecular architecture. Aldehydes and ketones are easily tamed to alcohols by sodium borohydride. Gentle hydride delivery, no explosion.
Acid hydrolysis is a reversible hourglass. Products and reactants coexist.
Nature's own oxidation, grape juice ferments to alcohol, then, exposed to air, slowly turns to vinegar. Ethanol to ethanoic acid, right before your eyes. LiAlH₄ is a powerhouse reducer, 4 hydride ions per molecule, ready to attack. But it must be kept absolutely dry, or it releases explosive hydrogen gas. 1 drop of water on LiAlH₄, and you've got a fireball. That's why it's always handled under argon, in perfectly dry glassware. Respect the chemistry. Most industrial ethanol still comes from crude oil, cracked to ethene, then hydrated. A finite, ancient sunlight converted to fuel once more. In a perfect cycle, the CO2 from burning bioethanol is reabsorbed by the next crop. But tractors and transport use fossil fuels, breaking the loop. How can we close it? What if your car's exhaust was captured and turned back into fuel on the spot? A closed-loop, solar-powered ethanol station could make driving carbon negative. Watch sodium ethanoate crystallize, a mesmerizing dance of ions locking into place. This simple salt stores and releases heat, perfect for reusable warmers. In virtual reality, you can build esters molecule by molecule. Choose your alcohol and acid, snap them together, and sniff the fruity result.
In a soapy bath, hydroxide ions attack and destroy ester bonds. That's why strong bases can clean greasy messes. They break esters into water-loving salts.
Watch life create fuel. Yeast converts sugar into ethanol, and the CO2 byproduct turns lime water milky. This is how nature makes alcohol.
Draw it yourself. Primary has 1 carbon neighbor, secondary 2, tertiary 3. That simple sketch predicts their entire oxidation fate. All these transformations are just a few elements: carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, dancing in different arrangements. The language of organic chemistry is written in bonds. To catch the aldehyde, you must distill it away as it forms, because its boiling point is lower. Heat gently, separate, and stop the oxidation at the first stage. But for full oxidation to the acid, reflux keeps the aldehyde in the hot pot, constantly reoxidizing until all becomes the carboxylic acid. Only a tiny fraction of carboxylic acid molecules release their proton in water. That's why they're weak acids. The equilibrium sits mostly on the intact molecule side. See the difference: strong acid red, weak acid yellow, alcohol green. The pH scale doesn't lie. More protons means a lower pH. Look at that clean blue flame. Ethanol burning completely to carbon dioxide and water. It's the stored energy of the sun, released in a gentle fire.
What if our eyes could see scent? The air around a fruit bowl would be a rainbow of ester molecules, each color a different aroma. Chemistry paints the invisible.
Carboxylate salts like sodium ethanoate are used as food preservatives. They stop microbes, keeping food fresh. Your chemistry lesson on a plate. You've journeyed through the heart of organic chemistry. Alcohols, esters, and acids are not just formulas. They're the threads connecting fuel, flavor, and life.